I mean, Legs, I'm going through the box score here. 13 assists, 11 rebounds, but 40 points jumps out, and 14 of 20 from the field. What stood out to you about Jimmy Butler, the way he got his baskets?
Yeah, Kevin, you're going to see a gaudy stat line with Jimmy Butler. And if you didn't see the game, you'll look up tomorrow, you'll pull up the box score, and those numbers you just mentioned will jump out. For me, the two biggest numbers on that stat sheet are going to be 20 field goal attempts and 14 free throw attempts, because it shows you that he was being aggressive as a scorer. People were asking me before the game, what can the Heat do? They don't have Bam, they don't have Dragic to make this a series. I said it's very simple. Jimmy Butler needs to go for 35 because he has the capability to do it, and he has to turn off that switch sometimes in the first half and think like a scorer. And I thought he did a great job of that, and it sets up his passing later in the game when he plays that way. I thought his mentality in the first half, taking the ball coast to coast, getting to the rim, taking the ball coast to coast for his pull-up mid-range. He was looking to get into the paint and then finish off the plays with a basket, or at least with a shot attempt. And he needs to do that right now because they're so shorthanded, and there are so few guys out there right now that can actually create their own offense. So I just loved his approach. I've been screaming for it for 3 games. He finally did it, and he's capable of doing this night in and night out. He really is as a scorer. And then the plays he made late for Olynyk, completely set up by the fact that now the Lakers were taking him seriously as a guy that was looking for his own offense. So he comes off a couple of ball screens, he draws 2 guys with him, and now he makes the plays. So his assist numbers are great too, but none of that is going to be possible if he doesn't put it in the Lakers' heads that he's out there with a different mindset. It's going to be to score, and he creates more help, and now you can make plays for other guys. So I just thought his approach was the way it should be every night for this team. They desperately need him to think this way. It was a monster performance by a guy that was desperate, and he got his team now back in this series. Really incredible.
40 points in, as you said, a must-win. I mean, that's such an overused term, but it was the case for Miami tonight. Legs, how about the mentality to be able to shift, right? I mean, you go from being the scorer that this team needs you to be, to changing up the mindset, to being so unselfish to be the facilitator when you know you have to score for your team. What does that tell you about Jimmy Butler, the player?
Yeah, Jimmy's been one of these guys that, he likes to get to the party when the party needs him, right? And sometimes when you get to the party late, I always say everybody left. So he got to the party early in this one, and he got going aggressively, and now you're going to force different defensive reactions, and you're going to force miscommunications. And here's a great example. You're coming off this high ball screen. KCP and AD are both so concerned about Butler because of the way he's been playing and how aggressive he's looking for his own shot. That's how you force mistakes. Now 2 guys jump out, Olynyk with a really nice read and Butler with the great find. And on that first one with the 3-pointers, the same thing. He turns the corner, LeBron is tracking him, but now AD has to react to that at the rim because he has been so good at finishing in this particular game. And instead, he understands Olynyk's going to then replace him at the top. He does a nice jump pass in the air, finds him for a 3. I picked out those 2 plays because that was a key stretch. When the Lakers had cut it to a possession, they actually took the lead at one point, and that was during that stretch in response to that. And again, set up by his mindset tonight. And I just think this is the way he needs to play. He needs to let his team know he is going to be there. And if it means you get 15, 20 in the first half, that's what it's going to take right now, particularly without Dragic and Bam Adebayo, 2 key guys that create a lot of offense for you. He's the one guy out there that can play like this, Kevin, for that team, and he needs to make it all possible for those role players, and he really did it tonight. Put him on his back.
40, 13, and 11 in an NBA Finals game. The Heat had to win, and they get that win tonight. A signature game for Jimmy Butler, who spoke with our Rachel Nichols following the Game 3 win.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.